Well, it's a great team victory, and it's just it's good to see our team just battle back and been some adversity, but they learned how to fight through it. You look at the first play there on offense, and we end up throwing a long touchdown pass to Burt and gave Gerard some confidence early, able to jump out to a big lead, and then they were able to make some plays. But then second half, we kind of turned it on. Knew we had to go out second half and go establish the run. Didn't rush for many yards the first half, but second half, you get that ball to Deontay and watch him just rolling, and he made a big run. Then we got explosive, and then start making plays after plays. We'd like to see Seven come down and make the plays he made, make the catches actually. But it was just fun just to see the team back to where it should be, and just having fun tonight and really enjoying it.
Charlie, is your message to the players, practice hard, you come in focused and, have the right attitude, this is what should happen?
Well, it starts on the practice field, and we just have to take it from the practice field to the game field. And then you look at it, and it's, 1 week you don't score anything, then the night it's so explosive. And that's what the players have to realize. It's all about just being consistent. We haven't just been a consistent team.
Coach, what do you make out of a win like this? You guys have been so up and down, and every time we say you guys turn the corner, something bad happens. So what do you make out of this win?
Well, we're not going to write we turn the corner. So I want you to keep writing this really bad, okay? Do not give them no hope at all. Just say we don't need that. It's like every time we get built up, it's like crash and burn. We don't. But no, it's glad. It's just so happy to see how our players battled, and. You hear so much, and I tell them all the time, what matters the most is the team. And when you start playing for what's on the front of your jersey and not what's on the back, then good things are going to happen for you.
Any guess or explanation for how you can get shut out 1 week and score all these points a week later?
I needed those points last week. I just needed half of them last week. But no, it isn't an explanation. You look at last week, we don't release the ball, and Gerard knew he needed to make the throws, and we don't take advantage of what they gave us. And then you look at tonight, first play of the game, we open it up and just throw the deep one, and they just lay it out there. Because the thing about John Burt, he can make plays. Just lay it out there to him, and he'll go get it, and he'll run it down. But just watch us just make the plays and watch the quarterback. It starts with the quarterback. If the quarterback have a good night, then we're going to get the good results that we have tonight.
How important was it for you guys to establish Gerard Hurd and get some of that confidence back? He hadn't thrown for over 100 in a long time.
He needed that, and the thing about him, and like once he gets going, and if it happens, if it's positive for him early, then you're going to get positive results from him. And just to see him bounce back, and once he made that first throw, then you just knew that he was gonna be on point. And it kind of hit a lull there in the second quarter, but we were just able to bounce back and get a good start there at the start of the second half.
Coach, first half they pretty much played you toe-to-toe despite the score. Did you have to have the big halftime speech, or was it a matter of just wearing Kansas down?
Well, what I told them, Dennis, at halftime is that they were playing harder than we were. And the thing we can't do is we can't allow that to happen, and we're a more talented team, and we should come out the second half and go dominate the game. And I said there's no reason for it. I mean, we jump up big, and we can't be front runners. Once we get a lead, we got to continue to play and be aggressive, and we weren't aggressive. We kind of, jumped out there in front, and then all of a sudden gave them an opportunity to move the football. And then them missing that field goal right there before half, I think it gave us a little more energy. Then we were able to bounce back.
Coach, congratulations. And second of all, the goal line stand, obviously that was a big part of the game too. You talk about the field goal miss, but the goal line stand gave you some momentum there on your defense, right?
It was big because we turned the ball over, and then they were able to, we give it to them, first and goal on the 8, and we make 4 big stops there. The third down play where they tried to roll out and the quarterback stepped out of bounds and then made it fourth and, half a yard or whatever. Then we were able to hit it. And, it was a big play there on the fourth down play. I think Pete hit him and just, knocked him back and stopped the momentum of the ball carrier, and then he ended up fumbling. But that was big because that would have made the score really tight. Then it would have been 3 points, and then but we were able to go out and get that stop. We're in a really big goal line stand.
Charlie, John announced to us early in the first half that Malik was only available in case of emergency. Was the second quarter there looking like an emergency, and you needed him at that point?
Well, I looked out there and I said that we can't continue to miss tackles, and Malik is one of those guys, he can make the plays, and so I said we will play him. He wasn't feeling well. I said, let's make sure he's okay before we throw him out there.
Is this a long-term thing with him? It's been 2 weeks in a row where he's been sick. Is he dealing with something?
Well, he really, I think it's more stomach virus or whatever, but he's one of those guys that I think I could have started him. I just didn't want him out there, and then all of a sudden you kept bouncing him back and forth. But when he was ready to go, we put him in. And the thing about Malik is he's one of those guys that he needs to practice work, and we weren't able to practice him last week, and I just didn't want to play him without practicing.
Charlie, did you kind of point to this game that if things looked like they were going well, you would get Kirk Johnson, Deshaun Elliott, Chris Boyd, some of those guys, some reps, and how would you say that they acquitted themselves?
Well, last week we tried to play the two freshman safeties. When you look at 11 and 4, try to play them some last week, and when you play them, they're going to have to be in there with a vet. So if you play Elliott, then I'm going to need 14 in the game with him. And so then if I play a 4, then I'm going to need 31. So you're going to have to make sure that older guys in it, just make sure they get aligned the right way. And tonight was good, and we ended up playing them. I told our guys we're going to play them the second series. So wherever the ball ends up, it doesn't matter. We're going to put those guys in the game. Kirk Johnson's really been working hard. He's been on special teams, so wanted to give him a few touches. And even Bernard, last week we ran the ball with him. Had it again tonight. Had called a play, but they overloaded to one side, so we weren't able to give him the pitch. But just playing those young guys, you just see how young and talented we are, and just watch it, just how explosive they are. And just the more they play, the better they're going to get. And it's good that when you're going to be able to build a secondary, the way you build it, because you look outside the corner, you look at 5 and you look at 9. Those two guys are lined up with 24, and then Duke and 21. So you look at those. You got 4 corners. You're going to be able to build it with 4 safeties. And then at the running back position, 25 wasn't available tonight, but we were able to play Kirk.
Charlie, given that Kansas is 0-9 now, do you want your players really excited, or are you scared they might get overly excited?
No, they won't get overly excited with this one, because I told them we have to go out and dominate this team, and next week is critical for us, because we're going to have to play very well. We're on the road, hadn't played very well on the road, but we're going into a tough environment, and you look at what they did today, beating Texas Tech, and now they have us coming in there next week, so it's going to be critical for us.
Charlie, how much was the first few passes from Gerard, especially the first one and the third one, how much of that was Jay trying to send a message to him, send a message to us, the fans, that y'all can throw the ball?
A combination of both, because we know he can throw the football. It's just a matter of him just having the confidence to release the ball. And the first one was big because we had to win at our back also, so just release it and let it go and let Burt go run it down. And then he made some really good throws on the short route. Then he hit the one down the seam with Lorenzo Joe making the big catch. But it was just a message where he wanted to build the confidence of our quarterback, but then he wanted everyone to say, hey, we can really throw the football. Anything else? All right, thank you.